What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. Let's get into the video, well, which is going to be a little annoying today because it just started to rain, but we're here already. We're going to be doing an accelerator drill. Why do you want to shoot this thing? Let me get some stuff together. All right, let's get some target sticks, get some targets on these things, and then we will kind of discuss a little bit of why we're shooting this, and then yeah, give me a second. So the main thing is having them at the varying distances, so you could kind of work on sight confirmation or target confirmation, however you want to call it, of your different targets at different distances. So for me, like I said before, it is pretty shitty out here. So for me with these targets, I set them up at 7, 15, and 25. You could do them basically at whatever distances you want. You just want to make sure you have them at varying distances. You could do like 5, 10, and 15 if you want. This kind of goes on different skill levels or what you're trying to accomplish. So the 7-yard target for myself is basically get a sight picture, fire off 2 rounds basically as fast as you can, because at that distance I pretty much would guarantee myself to have alphas. Then at the 15-yard target, that is going to be like a shot, wait for the dot to come back and shot, just to give it a little bit more confirmation 2, and then like the 25-yard target would be like a confirmation 3, or that would be like a you're shooting, then you're waiting for the dot to come back down and like steady almost in the A zone before you fire off your second shot. Just because you have the varying distances, smaller targets, bigger margin of error. Let me get a gun on and get some ammo, pace these targets up, and let's start shooting it. All right, so we have a couple things going on. Well, kind of one thing. So I am considering shooting the Hunter Constantine Belt Championship, whatever the hell it's called, in Texas in May of next year. So most of my training is going to be from concealment, I think. Going forward, once the gun's out of the holster, it's not anything different. Just got to remember to clear the garment for your reloads, which the uspsa match I shot from concealment, I did kind of let muscle memory take over, and I went to grab a magazine like this through my shirt. Happened once or twice, but not a big deal, just kind of a training thing, getting more reps in. Remember to clear the garment. With this drill, let's turn you around quick. So with this drill, you could kind of put the targets in any orientation. I kind of have them staggered at 7, 15, 25. You could put 7, 15, 25 if you really want to work on like transitions and stuff like that, or you could do whatever orientation of that you want. And like I said, you could kind of put them at whatever distances you want. I'm doing 7, 15, 25 just because that's a good standard distance. I will show you, I guess, the kind of cadence, well, at least for me, shooting them, and then we're going to try to get the transition times between the targets. That's the main thing I kind of want to try to keep even between all of them. So kind of like 6 continuous shots instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but more like just a continuous string of fire would be nice. But different distances, gotta make sure to stay not lazy with moving the eyes to the next target. One thing that's been helping me a lot lately has been keeping the eyes laser focused on like the center of the target, which in practice works great. Most of the time, once I'm in a competition, everything's out the window. But let's show you the different cadences of shooting the different distances. We'll paste it up and then shoot the drill a little bit. First, we're gonna do the 7-yard target. Got my timer on. I'll show you kind of the cadence shooting that, then the 15, and then the 25. All right, 7-yard target. So that's basically the cadence we're gonna have for that. Gotta dip the gun. Still have 2 alpha on that. That's a 21 split in a 180. Let's do the 15-yard target now. Stand by. So a little slower. That's a 41 split, 201 total, 25-yard target. Let's do that, and then we'll tape them up, and then let's run this drill. which wasn't much slower. That was a 50 split, a 215 total. Let me go check my hits quick. All right, so we had 2 Alpha, Alpha Charlie, 2 Charlie, which is kind of funny. It got worse as we were going. The back target, both Charlies were right under the Alpha. You could also set yourself up with varying difficulties of targets to make yourself slow down even more. One time I was doing this and I set up just a head box at 25, and you had to slow down pretty damn hard, and I threw a lot of mics, but it also kind of helps you with your throttle control a little bit when you have to aim at something that small. Let's do this. They are spaced pretty much even. Gonna run it like this a few times. Gonna do front to back, then we're gonna do back to front. And then we might call it there because we're gonna run out of sunlight. Also, one of the ways I do like setting it up is having the 15 and the 25 like in a completely different spot. So I would kind of do like the 7 kind of in the middle, then like 15 off that way and 25 in the back corner, just so you kind of have to do some transitions instead of just kind of walking your gun over this way. Just another thing to be able to work on while working on this at the same time. Let's do 7, 15, 25. Stand by. Okay, that was horrendous. First, way kind of over confirmed. Dot wasn't there. Second target, I dipped the hell out of the gun. Third one might be okay. That was a 409. That was a lot better, a 349. Let's go check those hits because I don't think I have enough ammo for another one. I think I have enough ammo. Let's try one more here. Do one more and then we'll see. I think I have a mic on the 15 yarder, but it is what it is. That's why we're out here. 349 is time to beat. 139 first shot. This, I didn't really have much dot on the first target. Threw 2 rounds at it. Still was able to get 2 alpha out of it. So let's try this again. Stand by. That's a 338. Let's go and look at those hits. So first shot was a 142. Let's tape this up and go. We have all alpha on the first target at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All alpha, which as it should be, that's a 7-yard target. This target, whew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like I said, I dipped one super hard, got very sloppy back here. So 3 alpha, 2 Charlie, and a mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 4 alpha, a Charlie, which is pretty close. It's a close Charlie, and a Delta dipped the gun on it. So let's work this backwards now. Another good thing to learn or whatever is to diagnose your shots. So when you shoot like shit, you should kind of be able to tell what you did to do it. So like I was saying, I really felt myself dip the gun super hard on the middle target. That's why we ended up with the mic there. Back target obviously dipped it a little bit because we got a Delta, but not as much as middle target, which I'm not happy about. The middle target was pretty messy. Got a little more confirmation on the rear target, obviously, and then front target is so close that it should be all alpha. Okay, so 338 is front to back. Let's do back to front. I don't know, times are going to be different. We got a 142 first shot here, but let's do this. All right, stand by. .334 first shot, 174. Felt a little sloppy on the back, but I think we sent one a little too early there. That was a 311, best time so far. The 18 split, very nice. Let's throw this one more time and we'll see. All right, that was a 307. Let's go check the shots. Getting pretty lazy, sloppy with the eyes on the front target here. Kind of just whipping the gun over and sending 2 rounds. So we did wind up with some Charlies. 1, 2, 3 alpha and 3 Charlie. This one over there was transitioning over. I sent it super early on the second string, and then the third string with those two. 4 Alpha and 2 Charlie in the middle. 4 Alpha and 2 Charlie. One of those Charlies is a line breaker on the Delta, so gotta try to clean that up, but let's try running this again. Gonna do front to back again, and we'll go from there. Let's do this back to front. Like I said, I'm not happy with the transition over. Maybe I'll try to get a little bit more confirmation before whipping the gun over there. So 307 total. First shot is a 162. It feels pretty decent for a 25-yard target, so happy with that. Let's run at least one more time, and then we'll maybe we'll reconfigure the targets or something. Okay, so first round was over the top shoulder back there. Not good. So otherwise, dead center Alpha in the back, Alpha Charlie. So kind of the same thing over here. Sent the round a little too soon, transitioning over to this target. That's why we're out here, and that's why we practice. So let's actually run that again, because I want 2 Alpha on this target. Okay, that was a 317. We are clean up front. Let me get my pacer gun. So 2 Alpha here, both to the left a little bit, so I kind of sent them a little soon again. Line breaker Alpha and a Charlie, and then 2 Charlies back here under the A zone. You guys should be good there, I think. Yeah, there is a pretty big gap there. If I shoot you guys, obviously not the greatest on my part specifically, but let's run this again. Let's see how this goes. Rolling up the sleeves for this one. So 311. All right, so we're 2 Alpha in the center, and then a Charlie Delta both to the right side of the target on the rear. .304. So I got 2 Alpha, and then an Alpha and a lower Charlie back there. And just for shits and gigs, we're gonna run it back this way again. So that was a 304 last time. I think that was my fastest one. Let's go this way now, which slowing down is maybe a little harder to do than speeding up. Last round. It was a 337. This is the front target from all of them, so all Alphas. Middle target, let's see this. Dropped a Charlie on the middle target. This was this last round because it was clean up until that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how the back target looks. Dot was getting a little bright for the lighting conditions now, so that was the first run. That one and this one was the second run, and then that and that was just this one right now. So Alpha Charlie back here. So 2 Alpha Charlie is what it is. It's starting to get dark, and I think it's starting to rain again. I'm gonna aim you guys this way with a beautiful porta potty in the back, just so the little lighting's a little better. So why do you want to shoot this drill? Throttle control. So transitions are in there also, which is a big plus. So I kind of forgot to look at like the transition times between the targets while we were shooting, because I was more concerned with having some shitty shots. So when you're training, you should push yourself a little harder than you would normally shoot in competition, so you find like a new ceiling for yourself. So you're gonna have some mistakes, and that is the reason you get out and you practice, so you have mistakes practicing and not at a match. So I tend to forget to do those when I'm doing the other thing. So when I shoot a match, something I have to work on myself is to shoot a little slower or within my range of shooting, instead of shooting at like 100% or 110%, trying to keep up with the other people. And that's when you start throwing mics and bad shots. Like we had Charlie Delta in that back target. We had a mic on the back target once or twice. Or no, we had a mic in the middle target and a mic in the back target. So stuff like that is not really acceptable, but this is why we're out here training. Like I was saying earlier, it is fun to also spread the targets out in different orientations. So you could put the 7 there, 15 dead center, and the 25 in the back, or whatever orientation of that you want. Different distances also, if you want to, instead of have a 7-yard target and you want to have a 5-yard target, or you want to have a 10-yard target and a 20 and 25 or something like that. Whatever orientation of that you want to work on the skills you're trying to work on. I'm trying to work on my accuracy. I drop a lot of shots that are not alphas, and it is not very acceptable, especially, well, I don't think it's acceptable at all. Like you saw shooting the close target, we had a bunch of Charlies on it from back to front. Something that's not acceptable. It's a 7-yard target. Those should be alphas. So this is things that I'm working on myself. So if you want to support the channel in any way, use the links down below. We got some links to merch and some Amazon links to stuff. If you want to support the channel by not using any of your money, just hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and do all that stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Tell me what drills you would like to see run next, or what I should be running also, I guess, to shoot better, because I've been shooting like shit lately. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Go shoot a match and let's make GM together. Peace out.